So today we're going to talk about the best yet affordable lens options for the RED Komodo, almost all of which will be significantly less than $1,000. So you did it. You finally purchased your RED Komodo, or if you were fully sending it, you got your v-raptor. And you've invested in all of the elements you need to build your camera out to the functionality that you need. But with all of those items required and all of that money spent, you may be left asking yourself which direction you should go in when choosing the best lens options for your camera. So today I'm going to offer you 3 separate but solid options, all based on features, image quality, and price. The first, of course, being Canon native RF mount lenses. Your RED Komodo does have a Canon RF mount, so these lenses are made to natively work on there. You should get access to all of the native features and functionalities, as well as the transmission of information from the lens to the sensor to the camera. And as mentioned in previous videos referring to the Canon RF lenses, most of these lenses are going to be pretty small, lightweight, and affordable. This is the Canon RF 24-105. This is going to be on the larger end. Actually, this is going to be larger than 70% of the Canon RF mount lenses out there to date. But it still fits and balances very well with your RED Komodo. These lenses are going to be very sharp, so paired with the sensor, you're going to get a very crisp and very clean image. Of course, if you ever need to soften it, that is when you would throw a filter like a Black Hollywood or Black Pro Mist filter in front of it to soften the image if you needed to. But if you wanted a very clinical and a very clean and very sharp image for maybe like a product review, or if that just happened to be the aesthetic that you're going for, the native Canon RF mount lenses are going to be great for that, and they're going to be very affordable. Next up, and likely the best value, we're going to be using vintage lenses. You can adapt these to your camera in different ways. So for me, I have a set of Canon FD lenses and a set of Canon Contact Zeiss. My Contact Zeiss are adapted for EF, so in that case, I would use my RF to EF adapter, and then I would attach it to my Komodo like that. But in the case of my Canon FD lenses, I decided about a year ago to adapt those directly to RF mount. So in this case, my FD 2.8 would just go on directly to my camera based on the adapter. This gives it a very low profile. If I wanted to break this down a little bit, and then let's just say these were my regular Canon BP batteries, I could have a very small footprint and be relatively inconspicuous with this. The great thing about these vintage lenses are, of course, they're going to be affordable. They are going to always have a lot more character than the other 2 options, which are going to be much more clinical. So if you want to give it a more stylized look, or if you want something to have just a little bit more character, if you're wanting a little bit more flaring, these are going to be great for that. And in reality, if autofocus was not your thing, and even though this RED does have usable autofocus, I would probably first put my money towards getting a great set of vintage lenses. In my opinion, I would probably go with Contact Zeiss over Canon FD, though I do think Canon FD are probably easier to find and possibly more affordable. But I don't think you can go wrong either way. And then my last suggestion to you would be the Sigma Art lenses. These are going to be relatively affordable. This one is a 50-100. This is going to be on the higher end. I think this one goes for somewhere around $1,000. All of the rest are going to be cheaper. Just about anybody on here is going to be familiar with the Sigma 18-35. I also own the 24 and the 50mm. But this is going to still give you a very clean and very neutral image, though it won't be as clinical as maybe the RF will be, because those are going to be a little bit more sharper. These, of course, are going to be the EF mount. So I would use my EF to RF adapter. And in most cases, I would have my mods and a lens support on here. But since this won't be on here long, I'll just put it on here. But you can see how this will look. Most of the Sigma lenses are going to be to right around here, so it will be a little bit more well balanced. But even with that being said, it's not terribly heavy, especially if you had a side handle. Get your 3 points of contact and you would be good. But I will say, over the last few years, I've probably done 80% of my client and corporate shooting with my Sigma lenses, just because it has great image quality. I think it's just a great neutral point to start with. You're going to get all the sharpness that you need, but you're still going to get just a little bit of character to the lenses, as I said before. Very neutral for you to build off of. You can soften it if you need to with the filter, but with the sensor like this, it's still going to be very, very sharp and very crisp and clean. These aren't going to be super sharp like a modern day Zeiss lens, and they're not going to have the character of like a Cooke cinema lens, but I do like to think that for the price, they are a nice balance in between there. The way I would break it down is if I was just doing corporate work and interviews and I needed something really affordable to start with, I might go with the Canon RF lenses. If everything just needs to be sharp and clinical and clean, I would do that. If I'm going to do a lot more artistic stuff and music videos and short film stuff, I may go for the vintage lenses and adapt those. If you need the best of both worlds, I would probably recommend investing in the Sigma art line or something comparable to that. I don't think you can really go wrong with any of these, but it just depends on your use case, and mileage may vary based on your use. But there you have it. Let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, or suggestions of your own in the comment section below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.